What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Rick Knows Hoops. I'm your host, Tyreek. And we finally got a Jrue Holiday game in the NBA Finals, and now the Bucks are up 3-2 on the Phoenix Suns. One win away from winning it all. And I'm here to talk about it, man. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new. It's a place where we talk about NBA basketball, so if you love hoops, this is the place for you. And I know I'm recording this the day after, but I did not have time to record after the game, but I did watch the game. Game 5 of the NBA Finals. And it was a roller coaster ride, to say the least. I think that's the best way to explain this game. And, we got to give, the shout-outs, the credit to the guys that really stepped up and played well. And the guy that is the main catalyst of all that is Jrue Holiday. Because I think us collectively as NBA fans have kind of been giving Jrue Holiday a lot of just a lot of hell in this postseason because he hasn't played well offensively really all postseason long, not for a consistent stretch. And especially when, Giannis has been in the lineup. I mean, the couple of games that Giannis missed in the conference finals, Jrue Holiday did play pretty well. But we haven't got those performances with all three of their, big three playing well. And we finally got that in Game 5 and the most important game of this series. I believe the stat is like in a 2-2 series, the winner of Game 5 wins like 73% of the time or something like that. So this is a crucial game for the Bucks, and then to go on the road, get the first road win in the series by either team. It's a big-time game, and Jrue Holiday, you got to give him a lot of credit. He was the catalyst. He made the play on Devin Booker at the end, the steal, and then had the guts, the kahunas to throw the alley-oop to Giannis, when they could have just slowed it down, try and play the foul game, but instead he threw the hoop to Giannis, and that pretty much iced the game right there. Shout out to Jrue for, stepping it up because, I'm somebody, I was like when the reports came out that, the Pelicans were looking to trade Jrue Holiday, I was somebody, I'm like, man, like a lot of championship caliber teams could use him. And, I thought getting Jrue to the Bucks was a big time move for them. It just gave them a different energy to the team and a different identity, some toughness that they needed. And he's shown that on the defensive side all postseason long, but it's great to see him have a 27-point game in the NBA Finals, save one of his best performances, if not his best performance for, the biggest game of the Bucks season so far. So shout out to Jrue Holiday for that. But, let's get to the game because, like I said, it was a roller coaster ride to say the least. The Suns, I made a tweet early on because the Suns came out, if you guys remember the first round series against the Lakers, and I think it was Game 5 too, at home in Phoenix, 2-2 series as well. The Suns came out, they couldn't miss a shot. They blitzed the Lakers, and they were in control of that game the entire way. This had the same vibe. I mean, the ball was swinging. Everybody was getting touches. Jay Crowder was hitting shots. Mikal Bridges was hitting shots. D-Book had a very good first quarter. Chris Paul was facilitating. They was getting the ball to Ayton on the inside. It was just a very good, first quarter. They were up, I think, 32-16 was the biggest lead. And then, after the first quarter, everything just died down. There's no more ball movement. Jay Crowder wasn't, getting open shots like he was because the ball wasn't swinging. Mikal Bridges, who was 5 for 5 for most of this game, really stopped getting touches. And the Suns, who is they're one of the most team, they play like a team. Everybody touches the ball. The ball is always moving. That's, the identity of this team on the offensive side. They started playing heavy ISO. And that's what, slowed down, the pace of this game for them. They were shooting the ball so well. They shot the ball well really all game. But, when guys are no longer in the flow of the offense, then when Jay Crowder, he has to take a shot late in the game. He's not in rhythm anymore. Mikal Bridges is no longer, shooting, 5 for 5 because he's out of rhythm. And then it's just everybody else is not getting involved. And it was heavy ISO between the Suns' backcourt. And as great as those guys are, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, I'm not trying to knock either one of them. They both played. Chris Paul had a very good fourth quarter, but 1 through 3 he was not that good offensively. But Devin Booker had another 40-point game. I'm not here to knock him, but it's just those two as the catalyst for this team, the best playmakers on the floor for this team at all times. They have to continue to trust their teammates, and I think that's really what hurt them in this game. They stopped trusting their teammates. And it ended up being a lot of, because Devin Booker was cooking. He was getting whatever he wanted. But I think the Bucks were willing to live with that. And you don't want to be willing to live with Jay Crowder hitting, 3 3-pointers, or Mikal Bridges hitting 3 threes, or then Cam Johnson comes in, hits 2 threes. And then it's like, Torrey Craig hits a 3-pointer, and then Cam Payne. That's the stuff you don't want to live with when everybody else for the Suns is going. But the Bucks, they won Game 4 with Devin Booker going off. I think they were willing to live with, letting D-Book do him, and then after that, just make sure nobody else goes off. And that seemed like what their mentality was, because they continue not to double-team Devin Booker. They were like, okay, try and beat us by yourself if you can. And the last 2 games, he's dropped 40. The last 2 games, the Suns have lost. So, well, the last 3, but in those last 2 games, he dropped 40. Both Suns L's. So, something really has to give. I mean, it's crazy just how, they got away from their brand of basketball after that first quarter. But you also got to give credit to the Bucks, because they made a big run with Giannis on the bench. So you got to give, Jrue Holiday was a catalyst. Pat Connaughton, we got to give Pat Connaughton his love, man, because he's been playing big minutes. He's been playing like 30 minutes a game all series long. And he's been one of the most impactful players. Been getting key rebounds, a lot of offensive rebounds. He's hitting his jump shot. Like, I think he was like 3 for 3 at one point in this game. I think he shot like 5 of 6 or 5 or 7, finished with 14 points. A very big game off your bench. And in a game where you get 32 from Giannis, you get 29 from Khris Middleton, then you get 27 from Jrue Holiday, 14 from Pat Connaughton. It's tough to beat this Bucks team like that. And when the Bucks are shooting 50% from deep, because they're not really the best 3-point shooting team that we've seen make a finals run, but if they're shooting 50% from deep on 28 attempts, tough to beat this team. Very tough to beat this team. And then for the Suns shot 13 of 19 from deep. But you're probably wondering, like, well, if you're shooting that well, like, why is it only 19 attempts? It's because, like I mentioned, the ball was not moving as it was, so guys weren't getting those looks that they were getting in that first quarter. It was like the first quarter was an anomaly for the Suns. That's what it looked like. It's like that's not their brand of basketball, but we've seen them do that so many times in this postseason, and they got away from it, and it came back to bite them. But that run by the Bucks was set by Jrue Holiday, Pat Connaughton, Khris Middleton hit some shots. That was an important stretch because Giannis got key rest on the bench. Bobby Portis also came in, played amazing off the bench. But that stretch was just so key for this team because Giannis was on the bench. And if you can get a run like that with your best player getting rest, which is key for Giannis because he plays every possession at 110%, that bodes well for the rest of the game. And the Bucks didn't really look back. I mean, the Suns fought back. They had a chance to win, pretty much win the game down by 1 going into the final possession. They got a defensive rebound. And look, if you watch the channel, I'm always a fan of coaches calling their timeout to set up a play late game situation. But I think this decision by Monty Williams to let it play out was initially the right. I think it was the right decision because all momentum's on your side. You got the ball in Devin Booker's hands. He's got 40 points, but he kind of got into a no man's land situation where he picked up his dribble, and I think he was at the elbow, and then that's probably the situation where you might just want to run, call timeout real quick, but it didn't happen that way. And then nobody told D-Book that Jrue Holiday was behind him, and Jrue Holiday, just ripped the ball out of his hands, and then the alley-oop, which I'm sure everybody's seen by now, to Giannis. I mean, that was just as gutsy. Like, that's a gutsy pass by Jrue Holiday, but that's just the kind of game that he had. He just seemed like he was playing so free. And, yeah, he was playing free. Khris Middleton hit big shots again. He hit big shots again. Like, can't understate just how clutch Khris Middleton has been in this postseason run. It's just, even on the nights where he doesn't shoot well, if it's a close game, Khris Middleton is going to get to his spots. He's going to get a good look. And the call from Mike Breen, he said more Middleton magic. That's why Mike Breen's like the best commentator in the game. But that was just a great call because it's been Middleton magic in crunch time for the Bucks. So more big shots by him. The Bucks did not shoot the free throw well, and it almost came back to bite him. Giannis missed like 3 in a row down the stretch. But offensive rebounds have been key in this series, and they were key last night as well. They got the offensive rebound off of that Giannis miss after the alley-oop dunk and won. And that was, if you ever play basketball, them free throw line rebounds, they just take the air, like it just sucks the air out of you pretty much. That's just how it works with basketball. Offensive rebounds are just like
Because it's like, man, you play great defense in the possession, then you just give up offensive rebound, or it's a long rebound. It's like, man, those really just demoralize you as a team. And I'm wondering if this loss for the Suns is going to be demoralizing because, they had the big lead early on. They fought back. I believe they were down like 14 points. They fought back. They had a chance to win the game down by 1 point. D-Book turns the ball over. Great hands by Jrue Holiday. And then it's like, man, this could be just a demoralizing loss for the Suns because, you drop one at home. Now you got to go back to Milwaukee, which one game you didn't play well. The other game, you shown that you have the makings to win a game on the road. One of the best road teams in the league, but you just couldn't put it together. And, Chris Paul had one of his worst games. And quite frankly, Chris Paul wasn't great last night either, but he played better. He played really big in the fourth quarter, but it wasn't enough. And, you think you get, 5 field goals from Mikal Bridges. You think that's enough. You get a few threes from Jay Crowder. You think that's enough. But when the Bucks shoot like that, and if you get their big three to play like any capacity like this team is very, very difficult to beat. This was probably their best game together as a unit in this postseason. I know they've all had games. I know they've had more than one game where they've each scored like 20 plus points, but this was Jrue Holiday like a couple years ago in New Orleans, like just playing free basketball, like offensively killing, defensively killing, locking up whoever. And once he switched on the D-Book in midway through that third quarter, like that really just changed the flow of the game as well. So Jrue Holiday was the MVP last night, bro. Jrue Holiday was the MVP. And Coach Bud continues to coach good games. I can't believe I'm saying that, but yeah, he's not just sticking to like the usual game plans, man. Like he's not gonna play Brook Lopez big minutes. PJ Tucker was in foul trouble, but quite frankly, PJ Tucker was getting cooked by whoever he was guarding. So, he only played 24 minutes. And, he gave Pat Connaughton those minutes. He gave Bobby Portis more minutes, which I've been preaching all postseason long. And he's just calling a good game. And players are going out there, they're playing and executing at the highest level that they have all postseason long. And now they're 1 win away from being NBA champs, bro. 1 win away. But if there's anything that we've learned about this postseason and about, these two teams, like this series ain't over, but if I was a betting man, I would probably say the Bucks should win this series. I don't think it should go past or go back to Phoenix. Like that's how I'm looking at it. It's just like we'll just have to see how the Suns respond because, like I mentioned, this could be a demoralizing loss. But the good thing is once you get to this point, man, you're battle tested. But if the Bucks shoot like that again, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And the Suns, they got to get back to their brand of basketball, not heavy isolation. D-Book bail us out because that's just not what got this team to this point. That's not what got this team past the Lakers. That's not what helped them sweep the Nuggets. And that's not how they beat the Clippers either, man. And that's not how they got up 2-0. To be frank with you, we had a Mikal Bridges game. Jay Crowder was shooting the ball well in those first two games. Like, Ayton was getting involved. The Bucks have done a really good job of not making DeAndre Ayton be effective or as effective. He had 20 and 10 last night, but look, one of the least impactful 20 and 10 games that I've really seen. Like, it didn't really seem to have that much impact. And maybe that's because he's not dominating the boards like how he has most of this postseason. I know he's had some big rebounding games in this in this series, but it seems like the Suns have been dominating teams on the boards, and the Bucks have not been letting the Suns out rebound them. So yeah, that's the main stuff to really look at. The rebounding battle is key, but really the Suns, they got to get back to their brand of basketball. And for the Bucks, they've been just playing very, very freely in these last 3 games, I would say, and it hasn't just been Giannis. I think that's the key part. It hasn't just been Giannis. Jrue Holiday had a good game 3. He had a great game 5. Khris Middleton has been, playing as confident as they come since after the first 2 games in Phoenix. And of course, like Giannis has been big. Bobby Portis has been big time. Pat Connaughton, shout out to him. The Bucks, one game away from the NBA Finals. Will they win it on Tuesday night? We're going to find out for sure. But I'll be here to talk about it with y'all. Of course, it's your boy Reek. Leave a like, subscribe if you are new. I appreciate all the support. Just hit 250 subs. Let's get to 300 soon, man. I appreciate y'all once again, and I'm out. Peace.